It is. What's today? December 14th? December 14th.
December 14th.
2021. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast talking about NXT 2.0. 2.0. Oh my gosh, this show is still going. When can we have another pay-per-view event? They're rebuilding slowly, but it's just the end of the year, man. It's like this is kind of where all the shows are at right now. So welcome back, including this podcast. We're at the end of the year, so just lower your expectations. I'm just putting it out there. But welcome back, Issa and Alfred. It was so weird Friday night doing this podcast without you.
Good to have the band back together. I'll say that.
It felt like it forever since I talked to you guys. I was so excited to just reunite with my boys tonight.
Excellent.
It's good.
Missed you both.
Yes. It was fun. Friday night show was fun. It was just a very different vibe. Did you watch Friday night SmackDown and Zia Lee's entrance with the graphics and the bells and the whistles?
I saw it live, and I can confirm that the lightning was real. There was lightning in the Staples Center. She was doing that.
Oh, you were there. You were there.
I was there.
Yeah. No,
that's right.
I was too busy at the Bad Bunny concert. However, I did watch the Sami Zayn and Brock Lesnar segment. I need them more often, and I watched Hook's debut. That's how far I gotten with catching up on Friday.
Hook's debut was awesome.
Listen, I'm in paradise. It's 80 degrees out, so watching wrestling is not on top of my priority list right now. Going to the beach might be what's topping my list.
Yes, it's 50 degrees in Las Vegas. It is very cold.
Oh.
This is not the weather I thought I'd be living in.
It's like 60 degrees in LA, but that's like an avalanche out here. People are freaking out.
It's true.
Right.
So starting off with super chat, Buck99, Ryan Ramirez saying, love the show, guys. Great content. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. And I too loved Hook's debut, Issa.
Thank you, Ryan.
Especially loved Action Bronson, that they use his music license. Amazing.
It should have been the song Hook by Blues Traveler.
That would be good too.
Somebody dub his entrance with Blues Traveler's Hook. I don't have that kind of time.
I love that.
I'm busy working.
I like his entrance song. I liked it. It's not up there with Bryan Danielson's for me, but it's pretty close.
Pretty dope. I mean, it's top 5 for me in terms of AEW licensed music.
Yeah.
No Way Home, Stellar Tristan Lopez, $4.99. Why would they have my man do cuts and shave his hair? He looked like a star. Now he's there looking like the illegitimate son of Lars Sullivan.
Oh my God, that is. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything, but that's funny.
I think he should keep his headgear. I think the headgear is a good look with the headgear and the wig. He should just keep wearing that, even though he's bald now.
Is a solid
the
look.
wig. He definitely needs to keep the wig on. Luckily, it'll grow back hopefully fast.
So before we jump into the NXT, Alfred, what's going on in the news?
Well, never a dull moment in the wrestling world. Let's start. Not too much good news. First of all, of course, I didn't get to talk to you guys about Jeff Hardy's release and the controversy stemming from the video that surfaced when they were in Edinburgh, Texas. But Matt Hardy has updated the world in terms of Jeff Hardy on a live Twitch stream, and Jeff Hardy himself appeared. Apparently, Jeff Hardy's in good spirits. Matt Hardy intimated that the drug test results will come back and possibly they could be clean. There's a lot of speculation as to why Jeff Hardy was released. Of course, it was reported that he declined going to rehab from WWE, and they told me that as well. But it looks like Jeff Hardy being released, he's got a lot of stuff in his future in the pipeline, including a concert tour. But on the Twitch stream, it seemed that Matt Hardy was very much saying that not everything is as it seems, and possibly drugs have nothing to do with Jeff Hardy's departure from WWE, which, maybe that is a far cry or long shot based on Jeff Hardy's history, but I'm hopeful that that's true, that hopefully it was just a mix-up that has nothing to do with that. Issa, what do you think about this?
That's what I'm hoping as well. Obviously, I've been kind of like trying to keep up with it, and it just seems to be a lot of he said, she said, and I don't know that we'll ever get the full, story. As long as Jeff Hardy's okay, and it's not a relapse, and it has nothing to do with drugs, I don't care what happens. I don't care. He looks so happy in that Twitch stream, in that video, in the pictures that he took with Matt Hardy. I just want Jeff Hardy to be happy, whatever happiness means for him, as long as it's not anything bad or illegal. Okay, so as long as he's happy and clean, I'm happy for Jeff Hardy.
Second, absolutely.
Yeah, completely. I mean, it's it's a horrible story, regardless in terms of how many times he's been on through these problems and stuff like this. Addiction is a very tough thing, and that he's working towards sobriety, and it's a long journey. I don't know who that was in the background, but hopefully
It's
Jeff
my
Hardy's
dog
okay.
with a toy. It's my
Your dog
dog
was
with a
wishing
toy.
Jeff
I'm
Hardy
sorry.
well. Yes, I agree, Roman. We wish Jeff Hardy well, everybody, including Roman. So hopefully he has some great things in his future. Looks like he's already planning it.
Roman the dog, Roman Reigns, Roman Roy. We all wish Jeff Hardy well.
Yes, every single Roman. Roman Reigns was not on SmackDown.
He hasn't touched that toy in hours, and now he decides he wants to squeak it. Sorry.
Oh, that's great. It's like love at first sight. Monday's live WWE Raw. Let's get into this. Of course, Roman Reigns not on Raw, which might be why they're doing under 2 million. But Raw was just down slightly, 1.574 million from 1.6 million. The good news with Raw was that it was up pretty big, about 11% in 18 to 49. Raw, of course, I thought was a pretty backward show, but I did like the storyline of Bobby Lashley just running through people, even though he is a heel and it is a little backward to put a heel in that predicament where he has to overcome all these odds. It was built around Bobby Lashley beating the 3 top contenders for the WWE Championship, including the WWE Champion himself, Big E. So what did you guys think about Raw? What do you think about this number, Glenn?
I was watching the Succession finale last night on delay because my wife was out of town. But I mean, man, it's the time of year, right? And wrestling, by and large, at least WWE. I mean, winter is coming on AEW tomorrow night. It's going to be a big deal. But in WWE, it really feels like even day one. Like I was looking at the card for the day one pay-per-view. This feels more like a crown jewel than it does an actual WWE pay-per-view, right? It doesn't feel like they're operating in A+ mode right now. In fact, I feel like all the creativity on SmackDown went to Zia Lee's entrance. Maybe perhaps all the creativity in the company. And there's just nothing left for anyone else.
I think December is a known month to feel very throwaway-ish for WWE. I think things always slow down. Actually, in my opinion, even before Survivor Series throughout until we start building for the Royal Rumble, I think once New Year's Eve is over with, then you start seeing people come out and declare themselves in the Rumble, and that's when things pick up. I did think I was confused with the Bobby Lashley storyline. I liked it, but I wanted to root for him. With like Alfred said, it's like, is this a heel move? Because it didn't feel that way watching the show. But overall, the show felt very throwaway-ish. There was nothing that I would tell you, if you didn't watch Raw, you should have, because you missed this. There was nothing there that I will go back and tell people you should have watched it. So I think that they know that this month is a slow month for them, which I think I give props to AEW for doing their special Winter is Coming and keeping something interesting going on in December. Otherwise, we will really have not much to look forward to.
Yeah, I will say that it does feel like a lame duck period. I absolutely agree with that, and the holiday season is always going to feel like that. But I don't think that WWE is mailing it in with this pay-per-view, because not only do they have a lot of time to promote it, which we haven't seen WWE take advantage of all the time they have to promote pay-per-views, they're absolutely taking advantage of promoting this pay-per-view in terms of the matches they have lined up, whether it's Brock versus Roman. Of course, they're going to do Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch and this title match. I think it is a pretty good story in terms of how they added Bobby Lashley. Instead of just randomly announcing it, they actually have a story behind it. So I think they're doing a pretty good job building up to day one in terms of putting the match card together. I just think the creative has been lacking in terms of how they're executing it, because I did not like that Liv Morgan segment last night, how they made her look. I think it's weird that Bobby Lashley as a heel had to go through what he had to go through. And so, yeah, I agree with you guys that maybe the execution isn't there, but it's not for a lack of effort, I think, from WWE.
I think the WWE title match is going to be a banger, and I'm very curious about how it will go. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that Big E is retaining, and that makes me want to watch this pay-per-view, because there's so many possibilities. There's so many. He doesn't have to get pinned. There's a lot going into here that I feel we might see a major title change on a pay-per-view that we might have seen as a throwaway. I'm interested in it, and we still have a couple of Mondays to turn the story around and really make Bobby Lashley. I mean, he's already in the match. Let's see if the build-up, now that we know the contenders in the match, gets better moving forward.
And this is Nick Khan's baby, this pay-per-view. So,
yes.
We're going to see, compared to Crown Jewel, does Nick Khan have more juice than the KSA?
Inquiring minds want to know. And this is, you're
Yes.
absolutely right, Glenn. It is his baby, and not only in this pay-per-view idea, but the concept of a Saturday pay-per-view on New Year's Day, which I think if this pay-per-view does well, like there's going to be future, I don't know if they're going to call them day ones, because that's weird, because it's not going to always be on the same day. But the idea of a pay-per-view on New Year's Day, we're going to see if that becomes a thing in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I like the idea of them changing it up. It is interesting, the idea of them doing stuff timed to actual like milestone days that fall on different days of the week. I could kind of get behind that, you know?
Yeah, sure. And maybe it's a special Raw, but we're gonna find out a lot about what January 1st does for WWE.
And people forget WWE used to have pay-per-views in the middle of the week, right?
Oh yeah. They would have. I mean, they had like Cyber Tuesday and Taboo Tuesday and stuff like that, which is on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see on day one.
Depending on the calendar. Depending on the calendar.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Well, we're going to end on a pretty sour note. This is what I think is one of the worst stories of 2021. A referee on the independent circuit was stabbed very brutally. His name is Lando Del Toro. He was stabbed very brutally by Devin Nicholson, who's also known as a blood hunter, also known as Hannibal, who actually puts out pretty great content in terms of interviews that he does. I'm a fan of them, but this is really pretty horrific in that he kind of bludgeoned a referee with a spike, unbeknownst to the referee. And a lot of wrestlers have spoken out saying that they want him barred. And the latest is Will Ospreay, who tweeted that he hates cancel culture more than anyone. But when another person's life is in danger, there should be no question. The business is about trust, and at times can be the Wild West. But once that trust is abused, it cannot be repaired. Unacceptable. I completely agree with Will Ospreay with everything except I hate cancel culture more than Will Ospreay. That's the one thing he got wrong.
This isn't cancel culture, though. This isn't cancel culture. I hate cancel culture, but I just want to draw a line in the sand and say Lee Harvey Oswald was wrong. That's not cancel culture.
Yes, to your point, like the fact that there is a cancel culture, I think bastardizes moments when people do get quote unquote canceled.
Right,
there have been so many stories about getting canceled. Yes, that we just call it cancel culture and dismiss it. That now it bleeds into something like this, where somebody is legit what we would call getting canceled, and I completely am behind it. I just wish it wasn't called that. But what's happening to Devin Nicholson should happen. As much as I do like his, podcasts or interviews or whatnot, he should know more than anybody. This is somebody who sued Abdullah the Butcher for $2.3 million and won the lawsuit after he got hepatitis C because Abdullah sliced him open and was being unprofessional. And now this same guy has stabbed a referee in the head multiple times. Lord knows what these referees are being paid on the independent circuit. And I just think it's horrible that this referee now has to go through all this medical treatments for what has happened. And his life was literally in danger. So this is just a horrible story. And I mean, the blood hunter, Devin Nicholson, there's no place in wrestling for this. And I just don't see how anybody should book him again.
I mean, I agree with everything you just said. Yeah. I saw the video, never heard of him, actually saw the video, and it was terrifying to watch. And then you go and see the post photos, what the emergency area looked like with all the blood that this guy was losing. There's even a GoFundMe, I believe, set up for the ref because of the medical bills. It's unfortunate and something that we shouldn't be doing on wrestling, today. So it's not cancel culture when it's something that should not been done. It's probably illegal, and there should probably be some charges filed. So you don't even have to bring cancel culture into this. That's just not, there's no room for what went on there in professional wrestling today.
It's very, just terrible that someone would genuinely attack a member of the team, of the wrestling family that way.
Right.
It's just
right.
Inexcusable, and I hope criminal charges are pursued.
Yeah, that's what Ospreay did intimate that he thinks charges should be levied, and I don't disagree with that. So and to Issa's point, reach out to Lando Del Toro and his GoFundMe if anything, just to promote that, tell everybody because this is horrible. He didn't ask for this.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's your news, everybody.
Wow. Man.
Sorry to sour them. I really should have led with that maybe so that we could, go off to this with some momentum. But
well, I saw people talking about it. Now, in fairness, I'm on Twitter looking at Succession things, looking at Yellow Jackets things, trying to avoid spoilers for Hawkeye this week. And I see people mentioning this incident. I'm like, oh, did somebody do something offensive? Did somebody do something that was in poor taste? Wasn't aware it was this, but this is like, holy shit. Like, does that even need a discussion? I would like to think some things are cut and dried, like not okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So NXT tonight. What do we got for NXT tonight? What happened on NXT tonight? Grayson Waller outside being booed. Alfred, what did you think of this? We missed you last Tuesday.
I loved it. I mean, if you could just listen to the crowd reaction where they're chanting piece of shit, he feels like the only person who's like legitimately a heel. I know there's heels in NXT 2.0 right now that get booed and whatnot, but this feels like they're actually booing him, not like they're doing it because they were told to or because it's part of the show. I feel like he has more legit heat than most people on NXT, and they're really leaning into that by presenting him as somebody who the locker room doesn't want around, how these people in NXT don't want to talk to. Tiffany Stratton's dad thinks he's a terrible person. Which
she drove off with him.
She drove off with him, exactly. That was so weird. And then she was in the car.
Everything you need to know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little backwards, but they are definitely presenting him as a heel. And I like it. I like what they're doing with Grayson Waller so far. I think he's the right type of guy for this because he's pretty competent in the ring at this point, and he's a very good talker, and he's got some charisma. So I think he's a fine talker. I think he got thrown off by that weird Instagram footage, but I think he's okay at talking,
So on the beginning of the show, and I know we'll get to his promo, a little later, but on the beginning of the show, I was sitting here watching, wondering if I hated him because he did a good job, or if I hated that now that I know that Gargano really is gone, that the spot went to him, right? Yeah. I started to like him a bit more when he cut his promo. But when he first walked in, I was like, this is not heat because he attacked Gargano. I felt at that moment the heat was that they gave him the spot. I was like, why not somebody else, But I felt like he showed us a little later on a lot more of what he can do now that he has this heat. Because you know what? It's wrestling. Heat is heat, no matter what, right? That's what they say in this business. He has it. Take advantage of it. Hopefully they continue to just build on it and see what's going on. But I mean, did I roll my eyes as soon as I saw his face? Yeah, so I mean, it's working.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Some of that outside booing felt a little forced. I don't know. I think his promo maybe started to turn things around a little bit, but this was just kind of a, I don't know, little paint by numbers opening. Hojo to go Belinsky $5 saying, Alfred, thoughts on division leading Green Bay Packers and on Medusa wanting a Goldberg type contract.
I didn't see anything with Medusa. Was she saying that she wants a Goldberg type contract? That's very interesting. I wonder if she was talking about equal pay or whatnot. But I will say the division leading Green Bay Packers are now the number 1 seed in the NFC after the Cardinals lost at home again. And this team's going to the Super Bowl, like I've been saying all summer. People were freaking out about Aaron Rodgers not coming back. And I was saying, we'll be fine and we're going to the Super Bowl. And it looks like we are. Packers over the Bills. Even though the Bills are struggling right now, the Green Bay Packers look like the best team in football. Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears with 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards passing. And it's a good time to be a Packer fan, as it always is. And a Packers shareholder. There are also Packers shares available. So you too, Glenn and Issa, you can join me in being a shareholder of the Green Bay Packers in the year before they win the Super Bowl in my city of Inglewood, California. The world is just coming together for Alfred Konuwa. How do you like it?
What kind of return on investment do you get with that?
Pretty much 0. You cannot sell these shares. It's just commemorative. What you're really doing is you're raising money for them to make renovations to Lambeau Field. Don't expect to actually get a return.
So this is like buying something by the Franklin Mint. Like,
absolutely. That's 100% what it is.
As a kid,
the honesty, Alfred.
I thought I was going to get those Franklin Mint collectible plates and they were going to appreciate in value. It's going to be my retirement. I used to dream about this, ordering them COD.
I said 0. I meant priceless. It's priceless. It's not 0. You can't put a price on it. It's priceless.
It's an emotional return on investment.
100%, Issa.
They should just sell those NFTs, in profit.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming. I'm sure it is.
The first match tonight was no holds barred match versus Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson. Issa, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, so I love that you look stupid, Chance. I'm assuming that we are done with Duke Hudson, the poker player. Like, now you have to completely rebuild this character, right? Like, there's nothing left here. I'm over the feud, though. I thought the match was fun. I thought there was a couple of spots in there that, were awesome. I was just looking forward to seeing him bald. Okay, we had a hair versus hair match, and we never got to see the final result. So I was like, at some point, this wig needs to be. And then I wish I didn't. So this is a back and forth because I was like, I need to see him bald. And then we see him bald, and I was like, oh man, I wish we didn't have to see him bald. But I feel like since NXT 2.0, Cameron Grimes is not where he used to be before we rebranded. So I'm hoping that him winning this feud, he's able to move on to something that really helps him put him back in a spot where he feels more relevant. Because I don't know that this anything for either one of them outside of Duke Hudson losing his hair and all of his money.
Yeah, I agree that maybe he isn't where he used to be prestige-wise in terms of being in like a high-profile feud that's captivating everybody. But I will say, ever since they really gutted NXT 2.0, Cameron Grimes does feel like one of the biggest stars there. He feels like even a bigger star than when he was in NXT 1.0 because now there's less competition. There's less of these top baby faces. They've all cut. And Cameron Grimes is like a bigger fish in a smaller pond. So I felt like these people reacted to him better than just about anybody else on the show. And I did think this was a good match. Yeah, I feel like comparatively, like, of course, he's not maybe as good as he was when he was doing it in 1.0, but I do feel he seems like a bigger star in this pond. And I did like
because we know him and everybody else is a new character that we're not familiar with. So when you see somebody that you know, you're going to completely lean towards rooting for them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess I see your point. I didn't like this feud. I just want them to move on from it. It just didn't do anything for me.
The feud was very random. I like the match, but the feud was very random.
Yeah.
Duke Hudson needs to move on to other games of chance. Perhaps he could become a Baccarat player, or his gimmick could be that he calls bingo.
I can teach him.
You know?
Dominoes, yeah.
It's fun.
So he tried to cut Cameron Grimes' hair. Cameron Grimes thwarted that attempt, won the match, and then exposed Duke Hudson's bald head.
I want to see Duke Hudson play dice with Trick Williams.
Me too.
That would be good.
Do you guys think he looks better bald?
No. Not at all. It's horrible.
What was this promo with Brooks and Dunne going to a festival with Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter?
It's their thing.
It's their thing.
They're trying to get in the country.
They dance. They go to festivals together. They go. You know, it's what you do now.
That's what the kids are doing.
Says me, who spent all Friday night at a concert. Well, it was like a freaking Bad Bunny Coachella, but it was fun.
It looks like they're trying to like reach out to the Midwest with this Brooks and Dunne thing, because this is very like they play the country music, and I really don't have a problem with this because it was different. It's kind of different from anything else you'd see on the show. And I like, okay, here's what NXT is kind of getting right that I think WWE should do more of, is they're at least telling us who these people are. We're getting a lot of these introductions. We're getting a lot of scene setting in the world. I actually talked to Jonah, or at least Bronson Reed, the great Bronson Reed on Pro Wrestling Bits. Check it out. And one thing that I love that he said was that NXT, there's a lot of sameness, and they have to cut these same promos in front of the backdrop, and it's all the same, and characters run together. And he'd like to see more people and where they come from in their background. And I think NXT 2.0 does a good job at that. Now, the next step they need to take is, why should I care? And you know, they're starting to do that with MSK. I think they're doing a good job at why should I care. But with the majority of these people, like, you see their stories, but they're not telling you what their purpose is.
I feel like the MSK thing is a 2-week series of promos that has been dragged out to the better part of my 30s and 40s. Like, it's going on so long. It's just a crawl this entire time. I don't know, but the Brooks and Dunne thing, I mean, I don't know that this is going to get them more over this promo tonight. I don't think, and I think it actually hurts Kaden and Casey being associated with them. I don't know. And why aren't Brooks and Dunne playing country music? I think that would help get them over with the crowd.
It really should have been.
Yep.
Because that was real country music. I'm sure maybe they just didn't want to license the Brooks and Dunne songs. It'd be too much, but
maybe they should make it their goal that, like, we're going to, you know, the Applebee's song was popular, so now we're going to find different fast food chains and celebrate them in the form of country music.
There you go. I'd be into that.
Fast casual, you know?
Why
Figure
not?
out what rhymes with Chipotle, except from Nick Nolte. I don't know. Yes, this well, you know, I used to do the hip hop, so sometimes quick with the rhyme. But Let's see.
Can we stop this podcast and get a hot 16 from Glenn? Somebody drop a beat.
I'm not doing that tonight. I do not have enough coffee.
Oh, wow.
So no one wants anything to do with Grayson Waller backstage. Tiffany Stratton's father said mean things about him.
Well, that's why she's dating him, is because he's the bad boy. Her father disapproves of him, and now she's gravitating toward him.
Okay, so that kind of makes me.
She was supposed to date Cameron Grimes or Tony D'Angelo.
Yes, she could do better. No,
No, I'm telling you. I told you she's a fake. She's faking it, and this obviously proves it.
But what does Grayson have though? Like, he doesn't have money. He doesn't have prestige. He doesn't have like clout.
She wants to date the guy that took out Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, and I would correct you that he does have clout. Like, that's what it is.
Does he?
I mean, by taking out Johnny Gargano, I guess that's getting people talking about him, and I think that's invaluable to a lot of these millennials is clout.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, she just comes in backstage. Who are you gonna look for? Who just recently went viral? You know, she has to stay relevant. So right now, he's the most relevant.
Yes, he showed footage he filmed on his phone as he beat up Johnny Gargano. Not like there were TV cameras recording the entire thing.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not
Get
the
more
same.
heat
You
on
have
the
to
phone.
show your own footage, your own POV. You know, that's important. People want to see that.
He showed his tweets. See, but here's the thing: when they show mean tweets, they don't actually show mean tweets. It's just like, you, sir, are despicable. Like, they don't say, like, Grayson Waller looks like the love child of Paul Walker and Vanilla Ice. Like, they don't pick the good, fun ones.
They
Instead,
don't pick the roasts.
Yeah, it's just these generic platitudes, you know? I don't know.
I like this segment.
Yeah, tell me
I
what you
like
liked
this
about
promo.
this. Tell me what you liked.
I don't know. I liked it. I thought he was like doing a good job at just making the most out of the moment. I like the footage. I like the way that he talked to the announcers. I thought it was his moment of owning it. It's like, if they're gonna give me the moment and you people don't think I deserve it, I think I deserve it, and that's all that matters to me. That's how that came off to me, and it really just made me see what he does next. And then, you know, he went and attacked LA Knight. So I thought from this moment on, I feel like I'm paying more attention to what Grayson Waller is doing.
Yeah.
Does attacking LA Knight get you clout, though?
Yes, 1,000%. Ask Cameron Grimes.
Oh,
there you go. What I got.
Okay, Alfred, what did you like about this promo?
No, I really did like how he came off to this crowd. I mean, I could see how maybe you would think that it seemed manufactured, but to me, it's like the fact that they were chanting "shut the hell up" and kind of unique heel chants toward him instead of just booing him and doing what they were told, I think kind of shows well for him. I thought Grayson was pretty good throughout the show in terms of all the situations they put him in and getting cussed out by Io Shirai. Lord knows what she was saying in Japanese. But I like the promo. I didn't have a problem with this. I think this is a good follow-up for what he did. I thought they did a good job with Grayson tonight.
Followed this with the.
They should have started the show like this, I think.
Yeah, it may have made more sense. We had Lashing Out with Lash Legend, joined by Jack at times, Ika Manjiro and Kushida, and Wendy Chu, like, scurried across the screen carrying a pillow.
Yeah,
I can't. That needs to stop.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's WWE, so I have no faith in any type of long-term storyline. But if this is leading, if, you know, she's just so random now, but if they had some plan down the line of she's going to be revealed as some mastermind and this is all just to throw us off, that'd be amazing. But it seems random, and I know that there's going to be no end game to this if they ever even do pay it off. So I don't know what the purposes of this is.
Right. It's dumb. I don't like it. And I can't ever look at them the same after the whole War Games bathroom thing. So
I think Style Strong is very clever. I don't know how I should feel about this gimmick.
right.
Yeah, it felt like an actual rollout tonight. Like, I feel like they've been together and then they lost their debut match, but now tonight they finally put it all together in terms of they had their segment and then they got to get in the match and win it. But this is very odd. Although I did like Ika Manjiro cutting a promo in Japanese. I'm a big fan of people cutting promos in their native language because then you really get tapped into their soul.
Okay, so for the rest of this podcast, I will be speaking Spanish to Alfred.
Please.
Gracias. Hey, listen, I don't know if we skipped this, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
made Glenn do it last week. So, Alfred, can you please say, Isa, you were right about Matt Riddle being the shaman? Thank you.
I thought I said it in your comments, but yes, Queen Issa was right about Matt Riddle being the shaman, and I do think it's a perfect choice. I think he's been great. This is what NXT 2.0 needs. Somebody who's a star on the main roster, and I hope he goes to be live in NXT 2.0 because these people would go crazy for him.
Yeah.
Muchas gracias, Alfred. Te lo agradezco.
Yes, de nada.
So yeah, we had that promo segment tonight, and what did they need to clear their head and relax? Well, some good old scooter time.
Of course.
I loved everything. You know what's crazy about the segment that they did with MSK and Matt Riddle is not that I know anything about this, but they would be so much better on THC, which is I think what they're appealing to in terms of all the stuff they're pulling out of the fanny pack.
Yeah.
I just like the fact they're pulling the cone out of the fanny pack and a baseball bat, and then when he pulled out the scooter, they're like, "Hey, how did you pull that out of the fanny pack?" It's like you didn't have questions about it. This is great. I love what they're doing.
Yeah,
They have great chemistry, and just Matt Riddle slowly making everything that you give him work. Like every segment, he just makes it work one way or another. I give him props for that. It doesn't matter what dumb prop you give him, he will make you chuckle a little. And if he's even making Randy Orton laugh, and that's amazing. He's doing a good job.
Yeah. Amari Miller got some offense in against Ivy Nile tonight. This was not a complete squash. I like Amari Miller.
I want Ivy Nile to just destroy everyone. So
I know.
It should have been a squash.
But I like Amari Miller. I like her look. I like what we got to see of her in-ring ability. Like, I'm intrigued to see more of her after tonight.
Yeah, me too. I like her. I really do like her. They put her in this role often against some of the newer wrestlers, which tells you how much they, trust her to carry them.
That's a good point.
This match and work with them, because she had Lash Legend's first match, I believe, was against Amari Miller on 205 Live. And so I really love what they're doing with Ivy Nile, especially her new nickname, the Pitbull. So perfect, just based on ferocity alone, in terms of that's exactly, it does seem kind of like cliche, but when Malcolm Bivens called her that, I was like, that is what she kind of is like in the ring, just this like ferocious woman who's just gonna like destroy and maul people. That's perfect in terms of what they're doing with her.
It's tough though, man, because when you build up, much like Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, you build up someone to be that dominant. It's only a matter of time that they'll become the champion, and they stay the champion for such a long time that it kind of kills the division, right? Like, so I don't know how they
go to the main roster, become a vampire, bite Becky Lynch, and then everything is over for them.
Yeah,
that's true. That is the trajectory.
Yeah,
you can only hope. They did do this with Asuka too, who cleaned out the division and didn't even drop the title. She literally just gave it away and left for the main roster. And I thought for the most part they did a good job with Asuka on the main roster, although I still haven't gotten over her losing to Charlotte at WrestleMania. I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job with Shayna Baszler as well. I love how dominant she was in NXT, and then she went, and I know a lot of people didn't like it, but her dominating that Elimination Chamber match, I love that moment for her. But then, of course, is that WrestleMania moment when they lose to one of the horsewomen, where everything just goes downhill for these women.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Zion Quinn backstage tonight, interrupted by Robert Stone, who's trying to make a comeback, and then interrupted by Von Wagner. God. Okay, can we agree? I know, like, Grayson Waller, we've got some split views. Duke had some split views. What about Von Wagner? How do we all feel about Von Wagner?
Don't care.
I'm extremely upset that he said he was going to continue to smash. That is Roman Reigns' word. I do not need Von Wagner trying to talk like Roman Reigns. Please don't ever do that again, Von Wagner. Thank you.
Gimmick infringement.
Yes, 1000%. You do not smash. Roman Reigns smashes.
What about the promo was what it was. I can't get into Von.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can. I mean, this is a guy who needs all the bells and whistles, because I know that they like how he wrestles and he checks a lot of the boxes that they're looking for right now. But the one box that matters that I think he doesn't is that it factor, and just giving me a reason to care about him.
Ooh, Alicia A says Robert Stone needs to be the mouthpiece. That odd couple pairing, if that's what comes out of tonight, that's such a weird pairing. That could be brilliant.
Yeah, they've teased
Do you
Robert
think he'll
Stone.
dress him?
Yes, please let him dress him.
See, that would get him over with me if he started dressing like Robert Stone.
Hell yeah. Same, honestly.
Fernando Perez, Buck99 asks, are we all watching Spider-Man No Way Home this weekend?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah. You know that I was reserving my movie tickets for it, and then I didn't realize how cheap movie theaters are in Puerto Rico. I was like, I'm gonna watch it 10 times for like, and I still will pay cheaper than what I would have paid for one time in New York.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess we'll probably go to the drive-in. Maybe. Oh no, we got 3 hours of wrestling Friday night, so I can't do it. Maybe if we wake up late Friday, stay up late. Maybe they have midnight shows at the drive-in here, so maybe we'll go do that.
Oh, nice.
That'll be great.
Okay. It's one side for the drive-in. There's no matinees. You got to wait for the sun to go down. But it'll be exciting to see. So Harland had his in-ring debut versus Guru Raj tonight. And Harlan got a pretty easy win, of course, with Joe Gacy at ringside. Alfred, what'd you think of Harlan's in-ring debut?
The funniest part of this match is I saw the lower third and it said Guru Raj, and just my brain went temporarily dyslexic. And I swear to God, I saw Raj Giri. Because I was literally looking at the lower third, and I looked up, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? It can't be what I think it was. But it was not Raj Giri, it was Guru Raj. And I thought it was fine in terms of what I saw, because they kept it short. And even though he shaved his head, it kind of reminded me of Brock when he was in there, like early Brock Lesnar, in terms of a little rough around the edges, but very explosive. And they've got something with this guy, I think.
And very believable. Like, he looked painful. Whatever he was doing, even though it was short. And that's very old school Brock Lesnar, where you would just look at him and you'd be like, "Oh, somebody's gonna die." I got that feel and vibe from it. I thought it was fun. I like squash matches when the person looks like Harlan looks, right? Like, I think it makes sense for him to have a 2-minute squash match. We'll see what else he can do. I'm just happy that he's wrestling. We waited. How long has this guy been around? The next big thing. Like, I just want to see him wrestling. We're finally getting that. So good for him. And he got an easy win.
Yeah. And then backstage after, he threw Brian Kendrick down some stairs.
How is he still alive?
Like I said, somebody is about to die.
That looked like they killed his character off. I was very concerned. But then I think that's why they showed you the medical segment. Like, no, he's still alive, everybody. Look at him. They're checking on him, because that was crazy.
Right.
It's been a while since we saw Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, the Brian Kendrick. Maybe they'll have him wrestle.
I can't remember the last time we saw him, honestly.
Yeah.
Cora Jade skateboarded out to the ring for a match against Dakota Kai, and she won.
Yeah, this was not the best match.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai did a good job, like, guiding her and like getting her to settle down. But Cora Jade's very young and very new, and this she'll have better matches than this. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't. Everything they've been doing with her, this was probably my least favorite thing. But I did love Dakota Kai's look tonight. Mm-hmm. The coat, the hair, it was different. Yeah. It was cute. I liked it. I mean, if I gotta say something positive, that would be it. I think there's a big push coming for Cora Jade. It's obvious that they're very behind her. But I didn't know that this match did anything for her tonight. But I mean, we'll see where else it goes. It's fun to see these newer characters being pushed. It makes you start really caring about them.
I mean, the way they're pushing her and she keeps winning. Mandy Rose was on commentary. I mean, I tweeted this. It's like, I think like Cora, Dakota. I think there's a lot of contenders right now for the NXT Women's Championship. I think I could see them easily doing a fatal 4-way because there's so much potential in the division right now.
Yes, agreed.
Good.
But
it really was showcased at War Games, in my opinion. That War Games women match really showed you that this NXT women's division is something special, and any of them could challenge for that NXT title.
I almost wonder, I don't know, like maybe the reason consistently the NXT women's division is so good is it's probably the one that they like mess with the least.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, they book it like an MMA division. They don't do this with all their divisions where you see several challengers at once, and I think that's the biggest difference for me is that right now, Braun Breaker is the number one contender, and nobody else is even saying NXT Championship. But with the women's division, it's like everybody who wins, just like in UFC, they're calling out the champion, and it makes the champion look like this target, and it really helps the division seem like it's deeper.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about UFC because I am still not over Amanda Nunes losing. It's going to take me some time, so
oh my God, I couldn't believe it up. I saw that in the bar. The place went crazy.
I thought I was drunk, so I woke up the next day and went to Twitter just to see if I imagined it. I was like, did I get that drunk Saturday night? Let me double check. No, it wasn't my imagination. I really saw that.
And that was a huge upset, right? Wasn't it?
One of the biggest, you could argue the biggest upset in the history of women's martial arts.
Oh yeah, I think I was more shocked for this than when Ronda lost the first time. This I was not expecting it at all.
And especially after the first round, you're just like, oh, okay, so Nunes is gonna smash.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was insane. It was crazy.
I saw people making fun of her opponent's betting odds, and my thought was like, oh, I should put some money. Apparently that was the wise call.
Much freaking money that
could have won $1,100 by putting a $100 bet on Julia Pena.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Tony D'Angelo versus Andre Chase tonight. Those were paid plants, the Chase U section, correct?
Yeah, but they were amazing. It's one of the best use of paid plants I've ever seen. It makes me want to go to an NXT event. They finally have Chase U merch. And while we're talking about the God, we're going to let this slide, Leo, come on. But this type of talk will get you banned from this chat, okay? You do not talk about the God like this. This is sacrilegious, Leo. We like you. But you can't go
I feel personally offended by that comment.
Me too.
Do the Chase U students, are they automatically enrolled in the name, image, likeness program?
3 points for Rubenstein.
Yes. So this isn't about Chase U. This is about
Chase.
Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo. Good match. Good him coming out with the mouse guard. All good. My only note, and this is minor, when he was insulting Pete Dunne, I just feel like I know Tony's golden, so we just need to put him out there, and that's ratings. That just his mere presence will satisfy the fans enough. Just write him some better snaps, some better roasts to toss at his opponent. Because tonight, that's what was just kind of like, part of me was thinking, like, you're telling me Enzo didn't leave like a page of a notebook somewhere backstage?
I don't need him to have good insults. I almost don't need him to have any insults. I just need him to be like, okay. And then we see some crazy people like jumping him backstage, and it's the people that Tony D'Angelo. No. On that note, Pete Dunne broke the glass cage and put on the mouth guard, and that is absolutely disgusting. Pete Dunne, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Please, sir, disinfect those things before you put them back on.
And him stepping on the glass is the most Jewish thing that's ever happened on NXT.
We just celebrated his bar mitzvah.
If I'd been in the crowd, I would have yelled out Mazel Tov.
Yes. Actually, I actually wanted to yell it. Thank you.
At my wedding, I insisted I was stepping on a glass. And then I learned a secret of the Jewish tradition. You actually now step on a light bulb, because if you step on a glass sometimes, you can have a mishap and stab yourself in the foot. So you want something that like really crunches easily.
And a light bulb can't stab you in the foot?
No. Light bulb like just shatters into a million pieces instantly. But you get like one of those thick bottom glasses, and you come down on it wrong, and you're gonna get a big shard right through your.
Can't you get that Squid Games glass?
I've not watched
the one from the bridge game.
I have not watched it yet. I need to.
Wow, Glenn. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm actually ahead of you in one show. Finally. Thank
you. My wife was out of town last weekend, and I said, I'm going to watch Squid Game. So here's what I ended up watching: Jake Gyllenhaal and The Guilty, because I wanted something that was a little kind of intense. Watched De Niro and Cape Fear again. I kind of picked the more like emotional. My wife never wants to watch heavy stuff, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a good cry in. It's gonna be a nice time.
Oh, that's awesome. It's a
heavy weekend, drama.
You'll be crying more if you watch Squid Game too.
I know. I need to get around to it. No, instead, I just watched Whiplash and The Social Network. It's a good time.
I cannot talk about how much I love that Chase U segment. I know this is Tony's moment, but I think that's really going to get him over at another level as those students.
Wow, Alfred, the comment. I don't understand what's going on. Tony, if you're watching this, my love for you is bigger than it was on day one. I thought this segment was all about you, and you shine, Tony D'Angelo,
He
forever.
did shine. The GOAT did shine. I apologize, GOAT.
Isa D'Angelo in my notepad.
No, it was good. I want him. I want every word out of his mouth to be like an A+. And that's why with Pete Dunne, I understand Pete Dunne with his fingers. We know, look, Tony better freaking go over in this feud.
I was going to say, do you guys think Tony's going to beat Pete Dunne? Because we need him to beat Pete Dunne.
He has to beat Pete Dunne.
I'm afraid that they're going to do this in like a minute. And they're going to make it a quick squash from Pete Dunne. They better not do that. But I hope Tony wins this. The crowd is really taking the Tony.
What if he kidnaps Pete Dunne? What if he kidnaps Pete Dunne and then the match doesn't happen because he's in the trunk of the car or something?
It is worth noting the only people who were chanting for Andre Chase were the paid plants from Chase U. Otherwise, everybody else was pro.
Your favorite people in the world now, right, Alfred?
No, they were paid to do that, and people chanted for Tony D'Angelo because it was out of the goodness of their hearts because they wanted to. And he's really over with this crowd. And I know you guys didn't like his bars tonight, but I do feel like he does elevate the material he gets.
You guys, don't win me. That was Glenn. I thought he was great. Thank you.
I just want the best for him.
I understand.
And he better win this feud. He better win this feud. In fact, maybe
be heartbroken. Like, if he doesn't win next week, we better bring some drinks and we can just cry and drink together live on air.
Or maybe like Pete Dunne from, stepping on the glass and then putting the mouth guard in his mouth is going to have some complications, some unforeseen issues that prevent him from showing up. Oh, or maybe Tony D'Angelo takes care of him and then suggests it's because the hoof and mouth disease or whatever he got is what's keeping him from showing up. But he's in a trunk somewhere.
That's funny. Right. Yes. 1,000%. Yes.
So we will see next week where that goes. We had Boa versus Idris Enofe tonight. Issa, what did you think of this match?
Yeah.
Alfred, what did you think of this match?
I'd just like to shout out to West Africa's Idris Enofe. We are friends on Instagram. He's a good dude, and I think he looked very good for the little that they had him do. He's a very explosive athlete. And poor Boa just seems like a man without a country. Like he lost his Ali to SmackDown. Mei Ying has gone through a gimmick change, and so now he's just out there looking like Knuckleball Schwartz. And I don't know why he's still kind of meandering around.
See that. Before I was like, oh, he looks so cool, and now I'm just like, nope. He just completely changed my opinion on that. I don't know. Like, is there another spot in jacket time for him? I mean, I don't know. When's Idris? Because Idris hasn't gotten a win yet. He lost his last match as well.
Yeah. I think he's just like put as an enhancement talent, but he is very talented. He had a really good spot-on drop kick.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be talented to be called an enhancement talent, right?
Exactly. He puts the talent in enhancement talent. That's yours, Idris. You can use that.
So Raquel Gonzalez called out Dakota Kai street fight maybe next week.
This was a weird angle. It was a weird angle the way they shot this promo backstage. It was weird, but yeah, she did.
Not the best promo from Raquel Gonzalez. Yes.
No, not at all. Not okay. Thank you. I thought it was just me, but
no, I completely agree. Because I know how good she is at when she's angry. Mm-hmm. She's really good at emoting, and I thought this just looked like it was not very good. They could have used a couple other takes, maybe.
Yeah, especially if it was pre-tape. I think she does a better job when she's live in the middle of the ring and she cuts like her angry promos that way. This was just not my favorite, but it is a street fight, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Dakota does with her new crazy instincts that she has going on.
Yeah. So maybe this will happen next week. They didn't specify, but we will see.
Yeah.
So, Jacket Time versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Creed Brothers came out and watched. But Jacket Time got the win. That's the headline from this tonight.
You know what I know? The headline from tonight was what I thought was one of the greatest moments in the history of NXT, where Wade Barrett called them. So they're talking about Jacket Time. He's like, well, more like, I'd like to see Jacket Off Time. And Vic Joseph was like, wait, what?
I miss Beth Phoenix on commentary. I think Beth would have put that over even more.
Yeah, I think she would have called him out and like said, wait, did you just say? Because that's what it sounded like. And then he goes, no, don't get crass with me. That's not what I said. I loved it.
It was so funny.
They have to change their name to Jack It Off Time.
Jack It Off.
Jack It Off Time.
That's the problem.
It was hilarious. It was very funny. I heard it too, and I couldn't stop laughing.
It is, but you almost like, I think we've talked about this before. When you're naming teams or you're naming wrestlers, you want to think about like, okay, what's some stuff that in a feud someone could use against me that's like a play on this name, like or some good things. But if you think of the name and you think that the number one joke people are going to make is a play on jacket, you think, okay, maybe this is going to overshadow everything else we do. Maybe this is too obvious.
Yeah, you're right.
They better pray Vince McMahon did not see footage of Wade Barrett saying that, because then that's going to be their gimmick.
Oh, it's over for them. It's over for them.
Jacket will be stuck on his body. You know, it'll be a whole gimmick.
Yeah, but I thought this was a fun match. No.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh my God, Alfred.
They deserve better than this. They are
really
very
do.
talented.
Do they?
You don't
What
think
do they deserve? To be eating snacks in the middle of war games?
They got a good win, though. I feel like they're going to get a
Listen,
tag title shot.
I was gonna try to be positive, but Alfred, went there. I was gonna say this was a fun match, and the NXT tag team division is starting to really get built up, while MSK is somewhere, doing things with Riddle. Once again, I forgot who the tag team champions were. I just assume it was MSK, and I keep on forgetting it's Imperium. Why
It's Imperium.
do I forget Imperium are the tag champs every week? What does that tell you? What's not clicking?
Yeah,
I agree.
Backstage, Trick and Hayes had a little run-in with Dexter Loomis making a drawing.
So glad he's drawing again.
Away. Is Dexter Loomis going to be the same without his father-in-law, Johnny Gargano, there?
He's the man of the house.
Yeah, he really is.
He's the man of the house now, and I'm scared.
Yeah, I was starting to enjoy him and Johnny Gargano, but I think it's good that now we get him back to being the weirdo who draws, and because his character was really, really skewing comedy, which I think he does well. But now hopefully he gets to be a little more serious so that he can actually be involved in more feuds where he can wrestle. And I really do like the whole art element that they're bringing that back.
Did I read correctly the other day that wedding segment has like 12 million views on YouTube? It's like the most viewed NXT segment ever on YouTube.
Wow. That's awesome. I wouldn't be surprised. That wedding was fantastic. Is there you guys hear buzzing?
Issa's buzzing.
Okay.
Oh, the buzzing stopped.
Okay.
So the Street Fight is next week. And then, LA Knight was transported to a hospital after his injuries from being attacked by Grayson Waller. Brian Kendrick transported to a local hospital. And then we had the main event. The
Medical facility.
Yes, pardon me. We had Roderick Strong versus Braun Breaker, and Roderick Strong looking pretty darn disputed in the outcome of this match, with Braun Breaker getting a win. Maybe he should want to become the Cruiserweight champion, since that works so well for Joe Gacy.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
As long as it is a Cruiserweight title.
I thought this was a fun match. I really
good.
enjoyed it. I didn't think they were going to have that much in-ring chemistry, but that was fun. I did think Roderick Strong looked slightly better than Braun Breaker. Maybe it's because of the size difference. He just looked so impressive. He did that suplex of the top of the turnbuckle. Like, I thought that was like awesome to see. But I really, really enjoyed this main event. It just makes you. I know a lot of people have checked NXT off and don't watch it anymore. But they go out and randomly put on a match like this, and you go, okay, maybe it is fun to still be watching NXT. I thought this was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the main event tonight.
Yeah, Braun Breaker looked great, and like Roderick Strong is perfect in terms of veteran who could work with him and highlight him, make him look really good. So I thought this was very good. It's just weird with the Diamond Mine because it's like they change who is babyface and who's heel. I don't know if the group collectively is a babyface or heel, but like certain members, like the Creed brothers right now, are playing heels by, kind of, or they're babyfaces more or less by feuding with grizzled young vets, while Ivy Nile, I think, is being booked as a babyface as well. But Roderick Strong had to kind of play a heel in this match against Braun Breaker, who's like the number one contender in this up and coming babyface.
Yep.
I just don't feel like a cohesive narrative with Diamond Mine. I get the idea that they're all great athletes, but I don't know. Like, this feels like, I mean, think about the words wrestling faction and everything that comes to mind. And Diamond Mine does not look like, they don't have that connective tissue that we're used to seeing in a faction.
Not yet, but I think they're getting better. Not only at like me getting interested in their members, like I love the Creed brothers when they have them out there, but also the presentation I think is better in terms of them presenting themselves as like a fight club. So they're in the gym cutting promos. So I think that's good. But I do agree that it's not all the way there yet, because I just don't think they've had enough big wins. And the Cruiserweight champion cannot be the top like title in terms of a stable. I think they have to get some tag team titles in there, women's title. And then you'll start taking them more serious. But yeah.
So you're suggesting that they make it an all-inclusive title so they can feel bigger? Is that what you're suggesting?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
But this was a good match. I mean, Roderick Strong actually with Braun Breaker. I mean, you're right. He said, like, they put on a very good match together. This made Braun look really good, I thought. And then at the end, after he gets his win, Tommaso Ciampa coming out and attacking Breaker. So yeah, I mean, they're keeping this going. I mean, I feel like before we know it, it's going to be 2022, and Braun Breaker is going to be the NXT champion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's where they're going with him, and they're making him look very strong. I love seeing Ciampa come out and attack him. I don't think that Ciampa should be okay with him putting him out War Games being the current champion. I like it. I thought their first match was good. We'll see how they do the second one, but build it up in the meantime. I don't have a problem with it. I thought this was a great way to finish the show.
Yeah. It was good. The episode, I mean, went by, but yeah, we need some stakes. We need to know that what's the next event on the horizon. What are we building towards? What's going on?
Yeah, they're gonna have that day. What is it? The New Year's Evil.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So there you go. There we go. That's what they're building towards. That's a month away. No, 3 weeks away. It's the 14th. The calendar thought it said the 4th. No, it's the 14th. Time is flying by. Before you know it, it'll be 2023, not even 2022, because that's how quickly time's going.
Yeah.
We're getting older.
I could see it being Braun Breaker's first and maybe only NXT title run, because I do see him showing up in the Royal Rumble, and then from then on, they'll probably call him up, and maybe
Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo sits atop the throne at NXT,
and then it's all Tony's kingdom
forever.
I cannot wait. If and when Tony wins that title, we have to have a celebration podcast. We
1,000%.
All Tony D'Angelo. We're going to talk about his childhood. We're going to share some tidbits about him. It has to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to eat pizza and drink wine. I don't know. We're going to do Italian things. It's going to be a great time.
We're going to do Italian things.
Yes. Please,
Issa, enlighten the audience on what Italian things are so people can start firing up their tweets.
You eat pizza and spaghetti. I don't know.
Forget about
it. We form our own mafia. I don't know, but it's gonna be a blast.
Enzo Amore's best matches. We can do that. That's an Italian thing.
Enzo was trending yesterday.
Why?
Really? At DDP's wedding?
No, the Young Bucks made some comment that they were the ones to bring wearing Jordans.
Oh, yeah, that ridiculous. Well, yeah, and then Enzo trended, and then Cena trended, and then Nikki Bella trended, and then everybody who brought the sneaker game in before them. But hey, listen, the Young Bucks know what they're doing. That's all
they do. Absolutely. Well, that was NXT tonight. Friday night, SmackDown. It's going to be exciting. Tomorrow night, AEW Winter is coming. Who's on the podcast tomorrow?
It's me and Justin, my old pal JLB. We're going to be covering Winter is Coming. We're very excited about it.
There you go.
I'm excited for it. So it should be a fun show.
It should be good. Well, take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care, everyone. Good night.